Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for November for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you an overview of the major strands of this month for you, and then please stay with me. I will dive deep and give you a forensic analysis of your prospects. So as we begin this month, the Sun is joined by Mars. Mars arrived right on the last day of October in the sign of Scorpio, which it rules traditionally in astrology, so it's in dignity. Now this combination are going to be augmented by Mercury on the 5th. So three planets, well, we could say the Sun is a luminary, technically in astrology, but three planets high in the sky. And this is your sector of success. But Mars is very much about conviction. It's about drive, it's about passion. And in the 10th house, it gives us a lot of extra confidence. So that's one of the big clues of this month. But also, there is going to be the arrival of Venus, the planet of love and affection, on the 5th in your sector of reflection, the 12th house. And it's going to be there through till the 6th of March. This is very unusual. Venus usually takes 28 days to go through each zodiac sign, and it's in Capricorn for this extended period of time due to a retrograde which begins on the 19th of December. So if you're in a long-term romantic relationship which you're not quite sure of, I can only be truthful that from the 5th of this month through to the 6th of March, I think you could go through quite a lot of soul searching. But it's also possible, not necessarily from a romantic viewpoint, that someone from your past can come back into your life. And that's because the solar return for 2022 sees Venus in a retrograde with Pluto. And Pluto can be the planet of revelations as much as the planet of the underworld. So some secrets could be revealed around some deep relationships between the 5th this month through till the 6th of March. Now, because you're someone who's a truth seeker, maybe you just need to find your own truth around certain relationships, but you're definitely going to be looking for much more sincere engagement with others during that period of time. But the other thing is that your modern ruler of Uranus, of course, is a very electric influence. It's very exciting. It's a freedom lover, and it is going to go into opposition with the Sun week 1, with Mercury from the 11th to the 14th, and with Mars in week 3. And what that's going to do with all this plethora of energy right high in the sky, urging you to seize your time in the limelight, you're just being asked to also stay mindful about what's happening in terms of your support systems. You know, home, emotion, family, security. We need all of those things to really function successfully in the outer world. If your base point in your life is very stable and secure, you can really chase the big goals and ambitions that are important to you this month. If there's some rockiness, or you're uncertain about where you're living, or you think you may want to move, you're not satisfied where you are, it's either too cramped, too big, the kids have left, you need to downsize, the kids have left, they come back, it causes chaos. All those things are possible this month. So your desire to manifest a more material success, which is not typically linked to your zodiac sign, but remember there's a duality to Aquarius. Yes, you have the Uranus progressiveness and openness to new ideas, but your co-ruler and traditional ruler is, yes, steady Eddie Saturn. So why not give yourself permission to have some successes? Because sometimes I think Aquarius people can almost feel a little bit guilty about that. And this is a month which really is a platform to charge forwards, but you need that backup. And if that backup is not quite as steady as you'd like, then that could be an issue. So those are the major trends. Please stay with me if you'd like to know more. But if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would click or tap on the bell notification symbol to subscribe. Also, if you want to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, my work is used all around the world by lots of big platforms. I'm the astrologer for the British Press Association and also Britain's best or most read newspaper, the Metro. And why not get yours free too? See the link below. And with year 2022 racing up at a pace, why not order your personal forecast for next year? If you order it now, you can get the rest of this year free. Also a character analysis and 30% off. All this is based on your unique personal birth data, so no two charts are the same, and will give you searing insights of your prospects ahead. But your deep forecast come in now. So Aquarius, welcome to your in-depth forecast for November. So Mars has joined up with the Sun in your 10th house of success, of taking responsibility and being a leader. This influence is very Capricornian, so it's very cardinal. It's about you coming to the fore, and you can achieve acclaim this month with Mars's help, no doubt about it. But it is true that Saturn, your traditional ruler, is squaring up to the Sun on day one. It really went into a square with the Sun in the last week of October. So as much as there is this opportunity to seize your moment in the spotlight, Saturn may hold you back a little bit if you've got any lack of self-belief. So it's very, very important that you don't let any sense that you can't achieve what's important to you inhibit your progress. Just rationalize it in the way that you're so good at doing. We all have fears. There may be some tests along the way, and you're definitely worthy of this extra attention. So really believe that is the case. But in the first week, the Sun is in an opposition with Uranus. So as much as you may want to go for that success, if you really want to make it to the boardroom, you may have to put that more radical side of your nature to one side. You can be outspoken, you can be a bit unpredictable, you dislike injustice, you can push back at any what you see as petty rules and regulations. But if you do work in a bigger kind of conglomerate or a bigger organisation, it probably is better and more prudent for you, if you want to make progress, to do what's strictly expected of you. If you're more of a free spirit, like I clearly am, being an astrologer and an Aquarius, then I think this opportunity to make progress is still there, and it's possible that you may try to affect the situations that you encounter with your own need to be very individualistic. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware that, there is a tipping point and no one can have it all on their own terms. So the individuality of Aquarius basically competes with the orthodoxy of the 10th house. That's essentially what's going on this month. So if you can kind of go with things, but also protect your need to build up security. And sometimes that means taking the well-beaten path, even if you've got some terrifically innovative ideas, schemes and approaches that you're developing. Just wait, because protect your security. I really would stress that this month. Even if you're tempted to, if a boss is dictatorial, overbearing, it may show itself in week 2 when Mars is squaring up to Saturn, and that really could press your buttons. But again, you may just have to sort of realize that sometimes if we invest our dislike or frustration in what we perceive as an injustice, once we're doing that, we're losing energy on the thing we can affect. So you need actually to be quite shrewd and savvy in calculating what's worth engaging with in terms of being, a warrior of justice, and where you want to just maybe play to the rules a little bit more and affect things more subtly. So those are the kind of challenges that can come up early in this month. But the Sun does forge an amazing link to Pluto in week 2. And all that work you've been doing behind the scenes, it may go back absolutely years, on yourself, on a business you run, on working within a big organisation. it all can start to shape up really nicely in a very evolutionary way. Maybe the evolution's within yourself, but that evolution is there. From the around about the 10th to the 15th, Mercury is opposite Uranus. It could be, maybe you're going to have some quite heated discussions within the family. Someone may shock you by how unbridledly frank they are about your particular prospects at the moment. And you might find that rather frustrating, perhaps even a little bit annoying. But, there's that other side of you that wants people to have an opinion. So just consider that. But on the 5th too, Venus moves into that much more reflective area. It doesn't mean to say a relationship is going to end anyway at all. It really depends on your personal circumstances and also your natal horoscope. But just generally, I think Aquarius people will be more reflective about deep devotion from the 5th of this month through to the 6th of March. Now the 18th, Venus goes into shadow, just even more sincerity needed. But the 19th, there's a full moon. If you're wanting to change where you live and there's been something in the works and you haven't been very settled where you've been living, it's either, too small, too close to other people, too close to traffic. Maybe you've got far too much space now because people have moved on, as I said before. Whatever your personal circumstances, something really positive can happen over the following 2 weeks, because Jupiter in your sign forges a square with this full moon, but I think it's a square where you can start to get some of what you need on an individual basis fed, and that's very exciting. But Mars does go opposite your modern ruler Uranus in week 3. There could be an argument. It could be with your boss, it could be with your partner, it could be with your mother or your father. And it's simply because everyone's going to be very highly charged at that time. And your ability to be a bit more detached could serve you in great stead. Because even if you have been working extremely hard, really showing enormous commitment, and you can see the rewards beginning to come in, it is possible that someone will still be quite forceful in criticising you. And if you are, wanting to perhaps work from home, you may be thinking a lot about how you can adapt the property that you live in, and you may encounter some planning rules. There may be, some objections or glitches that you've not quite thought might occur. But if there's any kind of inhibition to Mars's drive, Uranus can get red hot with frustration. So just stay cool, because on the 22nd, followed by the 24th, you start to enter a much more sociable period. And of course, Mars is going to continue to be beating the drum for your talent through to the middle of December. But the way you're connecting with others can alter subtly to be much more like your old way of working, very collective, not necessarily giving away your individuality, but just understanding the team is important. But I think people are recognising that you have got skills, assets and talents that can shine through, and they want to hear them, and they're open to you expressing them. But I think you can encounter a little bit of impatience or even nervous tension as you go through the transition of gearing yourself up for a much bigger role in life. So it's as important and significant as that. And then towards the end of the month, Mercury forges a terrific angle with Saturn. So one friend, one association, one long-term plan can really get nailed down very positively as this month comes to a close. Also know that Jupiter, the planet of growth, is going forwards in your sign all month and is in an excellent semi-sextile with Pluto. Keep working behind the scenes, working on the psychological stuff that's been so prevalent in recent years. And this month can be a breakthrough month. I just feel that it could feel a bit chaotic, unsettled. And I don't think you're going to have a lot of time to sort of relax and unwind at home. And someone close to you may be sort of complaining that they never see you because you're always working overtime, or travelling off to this thing or travelling off to that. But it is an enormous opportunity to seize some real big success.